Good evening, guys, and welcome back. The Classroom this 2021 with Architect Mark. So, the year has just turned, and when you're watching this, it will be the first workday of the, the year 2021. It's going to be Monday, January 4, and we didn't have recordings prior to that, which is okay. It's part of the holidays, technically. So we're restarting now with one of with a story about how our um, 2021 post came to be. Okay, so let's head on over to the demo, the classroom, and start our story over there. So this is basically the logo. It's the post. It's 2021, written in basically a single line style, except for the zero over here. Right, the zero originally was integrated, so it creates a more single line approach. But we will see why we had to push it out so that we can see the text better. All right. So it all started, of course, with a with this. Mhm. So uh, we had some time during the 31st of December where we wrote down some possible iterations of the year. So let's see what we've got here. So this was one of the first studies. This one right. Oops, I'm in eraser mode. Okay. So this one right here. So it's a taller version where the numbers are basically stretched on the entire frame. Of course, we were going for a square because, Instagram. So whatever it is should play well within a square or be an integral part of that square. So this was among the first studies, and we also thought about using the Roman variation of 2021. So uppercase and then lowercase over here. And then we even thought about using just a single two, and then it when you read it, it's supposed to read like this: 20 and then 21. But this didn't look too compelling. So we moved on. Several ideas over here. This one, I was actually thinking it could be an animated thing where it begins with 2020 on its side, or actually 2020 written like this, and then it turns, it becomes 2020, and then the zero gets squished and becomes a one. So that's how this came to be. That was the idea over there. But felt that it might take up too much time to do, or it's to replicate 3D in 2D is, while it's not all that hard, you sort of need to explain it, and we don't want that. We want our post to be self-explanatory, so you don't really need to put information that you don't really need to. So what else do we have there? A regular standing formation here, 2021. And then a big 2, and then all the numbers are smaller. So this started the idea of going with a single line. As you can see, started with this and then was trying to connect all of those. So it goes like that. And then that married with this idea over here, which is basically a quadrant style. So like that, 2021, and eventually this, an off, you call this, two quadrants with the same equal distribution, and then the other quadrants with a smaller cuts, basically. So this is basically what we are using, this and this, these two ideas together. Okay. So this thing was modeled in the older version of CAD because, well, it's generally a little bit faster, but pardon the flickering of the cursor. This is a compatibility issue or something, or it's too thin for the computer to scale properly and show it to us. So that's why it's flickering. So started off with this, the regular square, which is a 750 by 750, and then cut it up on its center. Where's the center line? Okay, this is it. And then cut it up with squares, right? So this is a half, and then this one was a play on like 1/7, 3/7, and then another 3/7 over here. So that's the general idea behind that. So basically the 2 was an arc, and then figured that it might as well be as symmetrical as the 0, so hence the circle over here. And then we have we cleaned it up over here with our half circle, and then some lines that go away from it to form the 2. Same here below, and then the full circle, and then just one having a specific, like this, I believe this is 10. Oh no, it's 16. So it's a specific factor of this length over here. I think this is 10th, I'm not sure. Anyway, there. So at first, we're thinking about where to put the eye because, it could be, the idea was better if it is on the far right. We, of course, tested it to be on center, but it doesn't read too well. Eventually, we pushed it down, and then it met with the line here, And then here you can see that we're already putting in some thickness to the lines, and then checking out how this works. And I initially went with this formation, but when I had it reviewed, the one is not really very visible over here. It had a nice flow. As you can see, this was one of the runners up, but eventually the appearance of the one was expected, and so we went with pushing the same uh, radiuses and circumferences of this towards this position here, and that's where we get the angle or the cut of the number there. We actually tested out if we wanted to push it like this. So we checked it because, you can also do that. If we cut it here, it would have been a weird termination and it won't flow with the 0 that we have over here. So we decided to not cut it that way. And we ended up with this. This is the final. Yeah, I think it is. This is the final version of that logo. So what happened to render this out was it was printed in PDF and then sent over to Photoshop, where the areas were filled in, and it was moved over to a template file which housed a 1080 Instagram template. And then the scaling was made proper over there, because if you look at the line drawing, we do have a square here, and we didn't want this to show, but we need it so that when we import it, the square becomes the bounding box. And so, yeah, it had to be a little bit bigger so that we don't see that line. And then we just put a word here. It could be any word, but we went with onward. And so that's the story of the 2020 logo design or post design that we put out for the company. And so it's a little bit of an exercise we have over there, a conceptualization. I hope you liked it and maybe thought about the development process a little bit. So yeah, we'll start off with that, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another classroom where we will likely continue the OBS, but if not, we're gonna move on to another program that is essential actually for better communication. All right, so see you guys again. Take care and have a good year. Have a very, very good year. A healthy one also. See you again.